Welcome to the Fall Damage Central podcast. It's Friday, November 10th, 2023. And as always, my good buddy Old School Legend is here. What's up, Old School?
Yo, yo, yo.
Man, so I got a little housekeeping to get out of the way right up front. We got a massive influx of viewers and subscribers this past week. Since the last time we talked, I'm up like 92 or something subscribers. Thanks to all these babies right back here, all these Pokemon cards. So if you're new here, what's up, guys? Appreciate you stopping by. This is the Fall Damage Central podcast, of course. We drop it every Friday, 6 a.m. in the morning comes out. We record it Thursday night, the night before. It's available here on YouTube, obviously. You got the video. We're on Apple. We're on Google. We're on iHeartRadio and Spotify. So go check us out there on your way to work or when you're trotting around town. You can listen to us. Make sure to subscribe, like here on YouTube. Rate us over on any of those other platforms. It helps out a bunch. And we're glad to have you guys here. So Old School, what is something some of these new viewers and listeners that are potentially going to be watching need to know about our podcast here?
So we're just two dudes who just shoot the shit, man. we find a couple of, we just shoot the breeze. We find a couple of topics to talk about, maybe some hot takes or whatever, and that's pretty much it.
Just two dudes being dudes.
That's right.
Yeah, we talk about anything, anything gaming related, news topics, opinions, reviews, first impressions of games that just come out, whatever. We try to keep it spoiler free as possible, but if for some reason we do get into the spoiler territory, we make that known right up front, so nobody's all pissed off at us, even though some people probably still will be. We talk about pro wrestling a lot. We're into WWE pretty much, for me at least. I know you watch a little bit of everything, except for AEW. We don't like AEW too much around here. Old school movies, shows. A couple weeks ago, we did the 2023 Halloween special, the first annual. We played games, and our other buddy Rhino, who's in and out of the podcast once in a while, he got his soul stuck in hell, so he's chilling there for the next year until next Halloween, and we're gonna try to hopefully get him out. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, all that out of the way, dude. This week we got the Twitter machine buzzing, or X now, I should say, but about Rockstar Games. I got the tweet pulled up here, but Rockstar Games, they put out a couple tweets. Just I guess it's their 25th anniversary next month, and they're just thanking their fans and everything for 25 years. And then at the very end, they announced finally, after so much speculation, that early December they're going to have GTA 6 trailer reveal. What do you think about that?
Very good, man. I know a lot of people have been hyped about Grand Theft Auto 6, specifically you. I know you're a really big fan of the GTA series, so I'll be excited to see what's going on. I'll be honest, I'm pretty behind on the Grand Theft Auto games. I still need to play through 4, and I still need to play through 5. But in my opinion, I think as good as Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to look, it's not going to top GTA 3.
Oh, dude, I know. GTA 3 was in both of our top 10 lists we did a while back of most our favorite games of all time. And I still stand on that. GTA 3 is my favorite Grand Theft Auto of all time. But GTA 5 just took it to another level for me. And I think GTA 6, if they can do a few things, is going to like blow that one out of the water. Rockstar hasn't really disappointed me yet with the Grand Theft Auto game, and I don't think they're going to start now. Hopefully. But one thing that I think that needs to be done with GTA 6, I don't know exactly when the release date's going to be, but it better not be for the Xbox One and PS4. It better take advantage of all the new generation's hardware on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. And I forgot about the Series S, so they're probably going to be screwed because of the Series X. You think?
You know, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say that it's not gonna get released on the 4 or the 1. I think there's gonna be a dumbed down version for the Series S, and I think you're gonna get the full shebang for the PS5 and the Series X.
Oh, I hope so. I was thinking
I,
about
I
like,
mean, honestly, like they need to do that, man. I
oh yeah,
mean, listen, I get it. Like people still are, some people aren't able to get a PlayStation 5 or a Series X or a Series S, but the newer games coming out, man. I mean, the older consoles are just holding them back. They really are.
yeah, oh yeah. I know. I feel like if they're showing off the first trailer in this December 2023, I feel like I don't think we're going to see it until at the latest fall of 2024, maybe even spring of 2025. But I know GTA 5 released in September of 2013. Um, and I didn't look. Do you recall any release dates for the previous games? I forget if that's normally like a fall release or do they stagger it or what?
No, that's something I haven't looked into. But I would imagine if they're going to announce it in December, I would think maybe like a summertime. If it just depends how far they're with it, man. So it might be one of those things where they show off like a little bit, but they still have a lot more development to go. And maybe this might be a 2025, like an early 2025 release.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I I don't know how long they've been working on it, but I think I don't know if they even announced it. I can't remember, but I know something came out probably about a year and a half ago, maybe, that I think they were ending development on Red Dead Online or something, or even GTA 5 Online because they're going to focus on GTA 6. So I don't know if that's when like full scale production ramped up. And before then, there was just like little teams doing little things here and there, maybe writing the story or whatever. But man, I hope they're farther along than everybody thinks they are because I can't deal with a trailer if it's a good trailer in December and then them come out and say, "Oh, we're still 2.5 years away from release." That's gonna piss me off.
Yeah. I mean, they might blow everybody away, come out and say, hey, look, we're done with this. So,
Yeah,
springtime
yeah.
2024, get ready.
Ooh, boy, I'd like be excited for that. And we were talking a little bit before we started recording here, but I think I might be one of those people that take a day or two off of work to play that thing. Send the kid off to school, say, go have fun, have a good day, honey, and send the wife off to work, have a good day, honey, and then just sit here all day long, just playing
Heck
GTA
yeah,
6,
man.
baby. Uh, another thing that came out this week, and we talked a little bit about it through text, but Nintendo announced a Legend of Zelda movie. Have you thought what are your first initial thoughts about it? Like what are you excited about or what?
I'm excited about it because I am a Legend of Zelda fan. I don't know how I feel about the live action portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really up to date with like current actors and actresses.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think of who I could see filling the role of Link, who I could see filling the role of Zelda, and like nothing comes to mind. So
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe for Zelda, I think oof, yeah, I don't even know. I'm not even gonna try to speculate.
See, I
I
had the same issue, the same exact issue.
because I'm like, so So number one, I'm curious as to what's timeline they're going to use for the story because if I remember correctly, there's like I think 3 or 4 different timelines in the Legend of Zelda series. There's like a young Link, like a teen Link,
Hmm.
maybe like an adolescent Link or whatever, and then there's like a more of like adult Link. So I just don't know. So if they're looking for maybe like an older Link, I guess maybe an established actor that might be a little bit older. I don't know because I can't imagine Link as like a grown ass man just because we haven't seen that before.
Yeah, and the games like every new game that comes out, it kind of jumps around in the timeline, right? Like one game he's a kid, other game he's an adult. One game like Ocarina of Time, he starts off as a kid, and then you go back and forth throughout the game from kid Link to adult Link or teenage Link or whatever. I I hope they like I don't know how a kid Link would do in a movie. Like a little kid taking down like Ganon or something, or these big ass monsters and stuff. I don't know how believable that'll be in live action. Now, if it was animated, like say the Mario movie, that might be a little bit more palatable for some people. I think.
Yeah, yeah. If you go online, you could see the full Legend of Zelda timeline. I looked through it a couple of years ago, and there's tons of YouTube videos about it also. And it's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of branches and all kinds of other stuff. So it's very, at least to me, it's very convoluted. I'm sure there's people out there who know the lore to a T and can explain everything in great detail
Hmm.
without much difficulty. But reading about it, it's very confusing for me.
Yeah. So I got pulled up here from Twitter. Who posted this? I give him a shout out. Dan Leviel, I guess. He posted this October 5th, so last month. But I don't know why. I guess people think this is going to be a Netflix thing. I don't think it's going to be a Netflix thing. I think Sony has the rights to produce it and put it out and everything, distribute it. But people are speculating Tom Holland as Link. Like I like Tom Holland as an actor, but just looking at him
Nah,
right there, I don't see him as Link.
yeah, nah, I'm not feeling that at all.
Uh, Emma Watson as Zelda. I like her as an actor, but I think she might be a little too old, maybe, to play. I don't know how old she is, to be honest with you. But I saw another picture of her before I found this, and I was like, she might be a little too old to play Zelda for the next 10 or 15 years, however long they're planning on doing movies and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about her as Zelda either. I mean, like what she's wearing now, like kind of looks like it, but yeah, man, I don't know.
I feel like that picture is from when they did like what was it, Harry Potter, like her from one of the later Harry Potter films or something. I don't feel like that's her right now. Idris Elba is Ganon.
Nah, I don't. I'm
I
not feeling
no,
that.
I'm a big fan of Idris Elba, but not for Ganon. You need like
Yeah,
I feel like Ganon might need to be like kind of how they did Thanos in Avengers,
yeah.
like
So like Thanos was
CGI.
like, yeah, but then having like an actual actor voice him.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
and uh, what's the name of the guy that voiced Thanos?
Um. Oh, crap. The
I'm
guy in the
blanking.
Goonies, man.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's on the tip of my tongue. Josh Brolin.
Oh. Yep.
Uh, I feel like he has a pretty good, like, nice deep voice where he could voice Ganon.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't. I'm kind of sick of like the internet trying to plug Idris Elba into like literally everything.
yeah.
I'm just like, dude. I mean, I will say so in the Phantom Liberty DLC for Cyberpunk,
Uh huh.
fantastic, dude. It like did a really, really, really good job.
Yeah.
But there's rumors of him being the next James Bond and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, all right, man, come on. Like, I like him as an actor. I think he's badass, but we need to stop plugging him into shit.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Um. Crap. What was I gonna say? I don't know. But all these other people besides like Urbosa, uh, I Jamila Jamil. I know she's like she was a host of some kind of game show or something at some point on
Mhm.
TBS. Danny DeVito, obviously, I know him. Steve Buscemi, I know him, obviously. But the characters are all supposed to be playing. I don't recall who they are from the game. Great Fairy, of course. I mean, that's easy. Urbosa, I forget what the desert, the women that live in the desert. It's like a
It's like
faction of
Gerudo
Garuda. That's it. Yeah,
or
I
Gerudo.
yeah. However it goes, but Malin, Tingle, Twin Rova, Dampe, Soraya. I don't know who any of these people are.
Yeah, maybe they're from like Oracle of Seasons or something else. But I mean, as far as Legend of Zelda goes, I've played the original Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo, Ocarina of Time. I haven't played Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild, um, Tears of the Kingdom, and Twilight Princess.
Yeah,
I haven't played any of the other ones.
man. Yeah, I haven't even played that many of you that you've played. I played Ocarina of Time, of course. That's like my definitive Zelda. That's my favorite of all time. I played a little bit of Majora's Mask, never finished it. Um, and hot take, I didn't really like Majora's Mask that much. I don't like being on the time, like a timeline or being timed playing games like that. I didn't care for that mechanic. Um, Never played any of the DS or handheld Zelda games. Never played any NES or SNES games. I played a little bit of Twilight Princess. I got pretty far in it on the Wii version. Never finished it, and of course, Breath of the Wild and Twilight. No, not Twilight Princess. Tears of the Kingdom, the newest one, of course. Probably game of the year for me. Twilight, Tears of the Kingdom, but that's all I've played.
Yeah, my favorite Zelda game was Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo, but Tears of the Kingdom has since taken its place.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's another one I started. Link to the Past on the remake on the Switch. That's what that is,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Okay.
no, that's Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening. That's what it was. Yes. I started playing that and haven't finished it, but I am digging it. It's pretty nice, pretty cool. Let's see. Let's see.
So I don't know if you saw any of this, man, but the PS5 Slims or just like the whatever the hell they are, they've made it out to the public. So there's a couple of people that have the new consoles, and they posted pictures of them side by side next to the original PlayStation 5. And come to find out that the new PS5 Slim isn't really that slim after all.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see if I pull up a picture. I have not seen that.
And somebody confirmed with the disk drive that you need to have an internet connection to authenticate it.
Oh,
But
I think I seen that.
so this is where like all like the false rage and anger, all this other BS comes in because people saw, oh, you gotta be online for the disk drive. Oh. But like nobody really did any research, nobody looked at anything, nobody just it was, oh my god, I can't believe it, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So the deal with the disk drive is you have to connect to the internet one time with it to authenticate it, to make sure it's not a bootleg or anything of the sort. Once it's done, you can play offline with it. It doesn't need to be connected to the internet. So it's a
Mm.
one time thing. People were up in arms about that shit. And I'm sorry, but I don't know if there's anybody in the world today that doesn't have internet.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I mean? So it's not like it's a constant internet connection. It's a one-time thing. Connect it to your, PS5, hook it up to Wi-Fi or whatever, get it authenticated, and if you don't want to play online, you don't have to.
Now, you said that to make sure it's not bootleg or whatever. Um, like, how I gotta wonder, like, is there any other way to keep people from plugging in bootleg disc readers or whatever, rather than needing an internet connection to authenticate it or whatever?
So I think at some point we're going to start seeing patches roll in to combat that, because you're going to have people, you're going to have companies that start building, plug-in devices that you could use, third party aftermarket kind
Hmm.
of stuff, that could potentially open up the console to be jailbroken, all this other stuff. So as far as that goes, I'm, you know, to me, I think if you buy a console and you want to jailbreak it, that should be your prerogative. I think you should be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
The problem is people like to pirate stuff.
Yep.
So that that trust there can't be, hey, listen, we're going to let you do whatever you want to your console because technically you bought it with your money, you own it. This belongs to you. So the problem is, as soon as you do that, then people are going to start ripping games, all this other stuff, and piracy goes out the door. Or piracy is, full fledged.
Yeah.
So I would imagine in the next probably like couple of months, we're going to start seeing different patches and stuff like that to kind of combat whatever, I guess, quote unquote illegal devices you're going to be plugging into your USB port.
Did you see the teardown of it? So it's not like a USB plug-in thing. Well, I guess if that's what it's called, that type of port on the bottom. But you pop that little cover off, and it's like I equate it to when I installed the GC loader on the GameCube. It's that same type of plug that just plugs straight into the bottom of the console.
Mm. Yeah,
Is
it's
that
wild.
like a USB? Is that USB still? No, right?
I don't know. I'd have to look at it, but from what I've gathered, it looks like it's just something that like it's like a USB device that plugs into the back of your console or something. So I didn't see the
Oh,
teardown of it. No.
let's see. Removable disk drive. I know. Who is it? Austin Evans, maybe did a video on it. I'm not gonna look it up right now, but I don't see a picture here. Huh. I don't know, but Austin Evans got one on his channel that he tore it down. It looks like you pop the cover off, and it's just essentially like the disc tray on the GameCube. That same type of plug. Like you got a
Mhm.
female under the cover, and it just slides down over or into or something, and makes that connection, and you're good to go.
Hmm. You have to check that video out. You said it's what, Austin Evans?
Austin Evans, I believe. Yeah, I know Linus Tech Tips did one too. Man, any other crazy gaming news come out this week? I don't think so. Nothing comes to mind.
No. Black Friday sales have started. So
Oh, have they started?
yep. So Walmart's got some Black Friday deals. It's kind of horseshit though, man, because so Walmart started with early Black Friday deals for like Total Plus members or whatever the Walmart membership is. And
Yeah.
then after a few days, they're like, okay, it's open to everybody. But by then, all the people with all the memberships bought up all the new shit. So then it's like you go to buy something and everything's sold out. And it's like, oh, okay.
Well, that's what these big retailers want, ain't it? Like that's what's going to
That's
sell
what I think.
memberships.
Yeah, I think what's going to end up happening is like the best Black Friday deals are going to be locked behind these memberships. And
Yeah.
then when it finally opens to the public, you're going to be like, oh man, I really want that $5 Blu ray or that whatever the hell. and you're not going to be able to get it because it's sold out. So it's, you know, if they're putting limits on stuff, that might be good. But what's to stop somebody from, I don't know, let's just say like Best Buy, right? They do a Black Friday sale of the new Spider-Man game, and they're like, "Hey, $29.99, Spider-Man 2 for total plus members." What's to stop me from going, "Oh man, let me buy like 30 copies of this game at $30," and then
Yeah.
turn around and be like, "Hey man, $60, $70, like whatever the hell."
Yeah.
So
I feel like even if things might not be sold out right at that time, these retailers might just not, they might say it's sold out and not let it trickle out to the general public, right? Just to make the general public think like, "Oh man, I need to get a membership so I can get this stuff." And then, a week goes by or something once they get an influx of new members or something, and then they start putting it out to the general public or something.
that false scarcity, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
But I will say I did pick up, so the PlayStation Direct has a sale on the Dual Senses and DualShock 4 controllers. So if there's anybody who still rocks a PS4 or needs a DualShock 4, check out the PlayStation Direct store because I got them new for $40.
A
So I
PS4
got,
controller too
yep,
for
yep.
40?
So I just got it. So I bought it yesterday online and it got shipped. I got it today. So it
Oh
was like
wow.
overnight shipping and it was free shipping, free overnight shipping.
Holy
But yeah,
crap.
man, I got a fresh red, Magma Red DualShock 4. I'm gonna keep in the box
Mm.
and just if my other controllers wear out, I got a fresh one there. And then on Amazon, I picked up for $50. I got the new volcanic or lava red DualSense 5. So
Ooh.
that is going to replace my white DualSense.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna keep that thing in the box?
No, no, the red one I'm going to use for sure. The white one I want to put up because I just feel like the white is going to get stained after a while. I mean,
Yeah.
I keep my hands super duper clean, but dead skin and shit just builds up
There
after
ain't,
a
yeah.
while, and
It's gonna
it's going
happen.
to stain that controller. So that's typically why I don't like white controllers because no matter what you do, like no matter how, unless you play with gloves,
Yeah.
you're going to get shit on that controller eventually.
Yeah, I ain't trying to play with no freaking gloves.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that it wouldn't happen to a dark controller, but you're not going to see it on the dark controller versus the white controller.
Mhm. Um and you still haven't jumped into Spider-Man 2, right?
No, no, I think I'm going to wait, man. I think I'm going to
Yeah.
wait for that bad boy to drop down in price.
Yeah,
Like, and when I say drop down in price, I'm talking about like 30, $20.
Oh man, you'll be waiting a while.
Yeah, yeah. So
Damn.
I might even wait until they release like a complete edition, like with all the DLC and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and then just picking it up and going there. So I always tell myself I'm going to do that, and then I end up buying these games, and a couple months later they release DLC for it, and then like a month after that you get like the complete copy, and then the complete copy goes on sale.
Yeah.
So like take for instance Resident Evil 8. I bought that when it came out, so it was like $60, whatever. So I played through that, thoroughly enjoyed it. The DLC came out, and I was like, I DLC's $20, and I'm just like, don't
Mhm.
know if I want to pay $20 for the DLC. So I've been waiting for it to go on sale, but now they have a digital version of the Resident Evil 8 Gold Edition for
Oh,
like
don't do it.
$15.
Don't
So
do
it's
it.
got
Oh,
so it's got the game itself and the DLC, like all the stuff with it for $15. But the actual DLC is $20. So I'm like, man, do I just pay the $15 and get the game again? Like,
don't feed into the all digital future, old school. Don't do it.
nah, nah, nah.
Hey.
Yeah, I was we had a conversation off air before we started filming and or recording, I should say. Um, so I've got this. You guys know when you buy Blu-rays, you get most Blu-rays come with like a digital code. So most of them have like a combo. It's like you get a Blu-ray disc, a DVD, and then you get a digital code. So a couple of years ago, I went through all my Blu-rays and I took out all the digital codes and I started redeeming them because I was like, hey, why not? Like free movies, it's just like another way to consume media. But okay, cool, we have it there.
Yep.
And I haven't used Movies Unlimited or Voodoo, whatever the hell it's called, probably in about 2 years. So I happened to check my email and I saw something. And at first I thought it was spam, but it was from Movies Unlimited saying, hey, we need you to re agree to some terms, all this other stuff. Failure to do so will result in like your account termination and you're going to lose all your stuff. So I'm like, well, damn, like that's kind of shitty because
Yeah.
if you don't log into it, hey, well, we're going to assume you don't use this anymore, so you don't need any of that content. We're going to take it away from you. But
Yep.
I paid for that because I bought the disc that had the code in there. Like, how is that right?
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, I went and I, you know, re-agreed to the privacy policy or like whatever the hell it was, and now I'm good to go again. But I mean, truthfully, I probably would have been fine just letting it go because I haven't used it in 2 years or whatever.
Yeah, but it's the principle at that point. Like you paid for that and you
Yeah,
want it.
man.
It's like that's what's so that's why what scares me so much about this all digital future that we're going to. Um you really don't own anything. All the games that you buy digitally, if you delete them off your console, yeah, okay, they're still on your account, but they're still stored on somebody else's server, whether it be Sony, like for PlayStation, or Microsoft, or Nintendo, or whatever. And at some point, like if they want to get rid of it or something happens, and I don't know, anything can happen at that point. It's gone, and you can't get it back. It's crazy to me that like I understand the simplicity of it and why people like the younger generation specifically are probably drawn to it because it's easy. You get it if a game drops at midnight at 12:01, not even 12:01, at 12 o'clock midnight, you are downloading that game, and oh, even pre-installed these days. You're playing that game at 12 o'clock right at release date, and you don't have to go to the store to get it. It's super easy, yeah, but long story short, you never actually own that game. You're paying $70 for a license to play the game as long as you can. And in 20 years, if you want to go back, like, oh, that was a great game from my childhood. I want to go back and play it. Oh, it's not available anymore. I can't play it. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, that's the future we're getting to with media. Everything is just going to be digital, and it is what it is. But unfortunately, with physical media too, like it does have its limitations. So there's a very real thing called disc rot,
Yeah.
and pretty much it's just like the plastics inside your compact discs and your DVDs just they just start to degrade after a while. They just start to degenerate, and you know nothing you can do about that. So
Just get with it or get lost, pretty much.
pretty much. But the other thing too, man, is like all storage is like finite, right? So you look at your SD cards and your SSDs, like all this stuff could fail. Like all this stuff only has like X amount of like reads and writes on it before it like crashes and breaks.
Yeah.
So let's just say, hey, PlayStation 6 SSD, you know, maybe you can't upgrade the storage. This is all theoretical, right? Um, and you have to get into that habit of installing, uninstalling, deleting all this other stuff because you just don't have that kind of room. So
Hmm.
what happens when you've reached that like 2000th hour or whatever? And granted, it's not going to be in the first year, but we're talking 8, 10 years down the line. That system craps out, then okay, well, what do you do? Just buy another one? Do you move on to the next thing, or
Yeah.
so? And that's kind of what I think. Like all these companies want you to do. They want you to when the new shit comes out, like, hey, get rid of the old shit, get the new shit,
Yep.
and go ahead and do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want, and it also cuts down on people sharing games, like and reselling games where they're not seeing any profit off of. So it's either you buy it from them or you don't get it at all.
Yeah. So kind of talking on the same subject, man. I saw somebody had posted on Twitter, and it was sorry X. It's always going to be Twitter to me, man. I'm
Yeah,
not calling that
same
shit
here.
X. Um, they got a dev kit from Microsoft. There's an Xbox dev kit from Microsoft, and the people at Microsoft, they drilled holes into the actual console, and the reason they did that was so the developer, once they're done, you can't sell that dev kit because it's got the holes and stuff in it. So it's pretty
Really?
much worthless. Yeah. So MVG, Modern Vintage Gamer, had commented on it, and he's like, "Yeah, that's been a practice for a long time because he's a developer, and when he worked on the 360, there were some games he worked on for the 360, and he said when they would send out their 360 development kits, they did the same thing. So pretty much, it's like once you're done with development of it, like they just want you to get rid of it. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
crazy, man, because like it's what's it going to do? Just sit in the landfill, just
Yeah.
collecting, yeah,
Yeah, because they're not making any money off it no more, so they don't want anybody to have it. They don't want
yeah.
anybody to get any use of it whatsoever.
Like, how hard would it be to be like, hey, listen, once you're done with this, let us know. We'll send you like some kind of drive to clear everything off of it, and then once it's done, like send it to an orphanage or something, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's kids out there who are in need. Don't be
Yeah.
destroying consoles just because like it's like, oh, we don't want this to fall into the wrong hands.
And
Nah,
isn't
man. Like,
isn't Bill Gates like a big proponent of like the environment and stuff and saving the environment? And
yeah,
his company's doing shit like that? That's
I
crazy.
guess he ain't that big on it.
Yeah. When it comes to him losing money, he don't care at all. Damn, dude. Did you go back and watch Crown Jewel? I know you weren't in town for it.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it, man. I didn't catch the whole thing, but I did see some parts of it.
Okay. I
I
think
from what I saw, man, it's kind of
yeah.
a mid PLE, man.
Yeah, absolutely. The I think all our predictions that we did the day before, um, we got them all pretty much right, except for Rhea Ripley. We did not think Rhea. Well, I can't remember what I said, but I know you were not convinced she was going to win the title. You thought she was going to lose it and then win it back at SummerSlam? No, Royal Rumble or
Um,
no
back
Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber, yep, because that's going to be in Australia.
Yep. But she came out on top of the uh 5 woman match, women's title match. I don't know, but yeah, it was pretty for the most part a mid pay per view. Um, do you watch Raw the other night?
I did.
What do you think about that Sami Zayn Seth Rollins match main event?
Yeah, that was pretty dope, man. I thought that was a really good match.
Dude,
So I'm kind of tired. Like I'm really tired of Seth Rollins, man.
yes, yeah, yeah. I
Like
thought
somebody beat this guy.
yeah, I agree. I thought like I was on I didn't watch it live. I went to sleep and I watched it on Hulu the next day. But I was really sitting there wondering, like, oh crap, is Sami Zayn about to win this thing? Because it was like on your edge of the seat type stuff. That was a really good match. Then obviously Seth Rollins ends up winning. And then go ahead.
All hell broke loose afterward.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool too. The Judgment Day
Yeah.
came out, then one by one, Jay and Cody came out to save Seth and Sammy, and then what's his name? The general manager of Raw, Adam
Adam
Pierce.
Pierce.
Yeah, I feel like it was a little on the corny side. He got in the ring with a
Yeah.
microphone.
He's
You
like, yeah,
want to
you
play
want to
games?
play games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh, War Games, there it is."
Yeah. So I
But
thought what was going to end up happening at the end of Raw is so earlier in the night, Drew McIntyre he showed up like in an SUV and he popped out and the interview chick was like, "Hey, what's up, Drew? Like, you want to talk to us or whatever?" And he just gave her this look and then he
mhm,
just got in his car and drove off. So I thought what was going to happen was at the end of the show he was going to show back up and after Seth Rollins won, he was going to pop out of the crowd and like hit his ass with that Claymore. And then
mhm.
all of a sudden, like Damian Priest was going to come out and cash Money in the Bank, and
Oh,
Damian Priest was going to beat Seth Rollins, but that didn't happen. So we got War Games set up. So typically it's 5-on-5.
yep.
So I wonder who. So I have a feeling Drew McIntyre is going to be the fifth guy for the Judgment Day team, and
CM Punk.
the the fifth guy for it's going to be CM Punk maybe. So yeah,
Is that
dude,
who you were gonna
I'm
say
gonna
for real?
yeah. I was going to say
Ah,
it could potentially be CM Punk. I don't know who else it could be,
yeah,
you know. And I just the thing is like I don't think that they could fill that spot with it. Whoever's going to fill that fifth spot, they need to announce it like this Monday or like the following Monday.
yeah,
They can't hold off on that too long because it's if they're like, oh, it's going to be a surprise and everybody's going to think it's CM Punk and then it ends
yep.
up being like fucking Chad Gable or something.
And everybody's gonna be
Oh,
disappointed, even though Chad Gable's a badass. I like Chad Gable.
yeah. Yeah, because they did that shit to Rey Mysterio one time at the Royal Rumble. Because like people swore CM Punk was going to come in at like number 30, or it was either CM Punk or The Rock or somebody coming in at number 30, and everybody swore up and down, "Oh, the rumors, da 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 da, it's going to happen, it's going to happen." And I'll never forget, man. Like that countdown went, and when the music hit, it was Rey Mysterio. Everybody booed. Everybody was like, "Boo!" But I'm like, why would you convince yourself that it like that it's something that it could potentially really not be? But I don't
Yeah,
know. I just don't get that logic, but whatever.
yeah. The theorists are out heavy on Twitter in the last like month and a half, 2 months, saying, "Oh yeah, Survivor Series, CM Punk's coming back," and it's just weird to me. Like I feel like he might truly come back because it's like both like CM Punk was asked deliberately a few weeks ago if he was coming back, and all he said was, "There's no. Oh, I heard tickets are pretty expensive. I don't know, and I'm just focused on getting my dog back healthy after surgery or whatever." And it's like, okay, but you didn't say no. If
Yeah.
like, why are you teasing it if you're not going to be there? So, and I feel like the same thing for WWE. I forget who it was, but they were asked and they didn't really say no, but they just kind of shrugged it off.
Well, now I'm seeing people think that he's the devil. He's going to be under the
Yeah,
devil mask in AEW, and I'm like, make up your fucking mind, people. Like, it's just I don't know, man. Like at this point, like I think people are just trolling because like they're like their logic just doesn't make any sense. So at first it was the devil was really small. So they're like, oh, it looks like it's a female. It's got to be Britt Baker.
yeah,
Okay. But then they're like, oh, no, you know who it is? It's Jack Perry. Okay. And now it's CM Punk. I'm sorry, man, but like CM Punk is like twice the size of both of them, probably even together. So I don't understand that logic there. But if for some reason it was CM Punk under the devil mask, like they patch things up or whatever the fuck. Like
dude,
how insane would that be?
that would be pretty insane. I'd have to give it to him, but at the same time, it's like, God dang, dude, like. How many times is CM Punk gonna like leave and then come back and piss people
Yeah.
off and then have to leave again? It's like,
So
damn, dude.
I'd like to see him back in WWE. Let him
Yeah.
finish his career in WWE on his terms.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or let him go to TNA.
Mm.
Let him bring some more viewers on there. Because you know it's Impact right now, but it's gonna get rebranded to TNA. I think in January or something.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um, but that product itself, man, is really good. I do enjoy Impact Wrestling, so I did like TNA back in the day. So I'm really happy. I hope that the change in branding gets more eyes on the product, and they could get like a real, like an actual TV deal with something. Because like right now they're on Access TV, and that's one of those channels that a lot of places don't carry.
Yeah.
They have a Twitch channel also where you can watch it, but it's like, I don't know, kind of weird watching wrestling on Twitch. But I'd
What
like
day of
to
the
see
week is
them,
it on?
man. Thursdays. It's on right now.
Oh, okay. Shoot. Damn. Um.
Yeah, I actually I don't have it on today, but normally when we record, I have it on the TV in the background.
Okay. Is Bully Ray on there pretty consistently, or is he just like once in a while type thing?
So what they do is they have recordings, like they do like 4 weeks of recordings in like a weekend.
Uh huh.
So you have like four shows back to back. So he might be on like one or two of the shows. Um, like he'll do like one or two recordings. So like you'll see him like one week, and then maybe not the next week, but then you'll see him like the following week. But
Okay.
Tommy Dreamer's on there pretty regularly. He's the they have a digital media title,
That's
and he's
happening
the
tonight, right?
yeah, yeah.
He's
So
wrestling for it, or he already has it.
he has it. He's
Okay.
defending it. But
Dude.
this what's happening tonight was recorded probably like the beginning of October.
Okay.
Yeah, so typically what how it works is with they do like a bunch of recordings. They'll do maybe like 4, 5, 6 recordings. They end up at a pay-per-view which is live. And then like the next couple of days they record 4, 5, 6 episodes of TV into like the next pay-per-view, and that's kind of how it keeps going.
So none of their TV shows are live.
No. Nope. And what's
Okay.
and what's really good, man, is they're not packed. They're not doing like stadium shows. You know, there's maybe like 400 or 500 people in the crowd,
Hmm.
but none of them leak shit out. Like there's never any spoilers for the shows or anything,
Yeah,
which
that's
I think is really
crazy.
cool. And I think that shows like a really respectful, dedicated fan base. That because
Hell yeah.
the big thing now is like as soon as something happens, for instance, like AEW, they have the what the hell's the show on Fridays, the AEW show,
Rampage.
Rampage. So they record Rampage right after Dynamite, and probably like around 12:30, 1 in the morning, you've already have the spoilers up for what happens on Rampage, because
Yep.
people are fucking assholes, and it's like, oh, I need to be the first one to mention this so I could look cool,
Yeah.
and it's just, and honestly, I think that's why like Rampage does so fucking awful in the ratings. I mean, I think it's just a shit show to begin with,
Uh huh.
but I think people could just read the spoilers like the next day and be like, oh, okay, I know what I don't want to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting though. Does TNA like travel around the country and do it in different venues?
Yeah, so they were just in London. They just
Wow.
had yeah, they did like a loop in London. Um, and I think once it becomes TNA, I think they're going to be traveling around more. They're going to be doing different shows in like arenas, and not arenas, but yeah, I guess arenas, not stadiums.
Hmm.
So they'll be traveling again. But I know like when COVID hit, I think they're based out of like Tennessee maybe, and they have a studio there. So they were just recording there, right? Like recording there, and even when they started letting people back into like events after COVID, well, I guess COVID never really ended. Um, they just they kept no people in the audience. Like they just kept it like empty still, and
Uh
then
huh.
eventually they're like, okay, we're gonna start doing like these shows like this, and it was kind of similar to the way NXT does it. People go to the performance center, and tickets are free. You show up and you go ahead, and they let you in, and you're there at the show.
That's pretty sick. Um, I didn't know NXT operated, or not NXT, TNA slash Impact operated like that. But
Yeah.
I've
So back
never.
in the day, they used to record in the it was one of the studios at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida.
Hmm.
So if you went to the park, Universal Studios, you were able to go to the TNA shows for free.
Oh, that's sick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you pay enough for those tickets, so they, that's pretty nice that they give you that for free.
Yeah. So, one of my buddies, Mike, he used to go to the shows probably damn near every week. So there was a stretch where so his wife was really big into the pro wrestling. It, his wife was really big into the pro wrestling scene when she lived in New Jersey, and then she moved down to Florida, and like she kept all the contacts. But I mean, like she's like chummy, like buddy, like has like text numbers for like CM Punk, like Colt
What?
Cabana, like all these guys. Yeah, yeah. So one time, story time. Here we go. So we went to we met I met them at this bar called Gasper's Grotto. This is in Ybor City, Florida. I
Uh-huh.
don't know if it's still there anymore, but we went there for drinks, and she was meeting her friend there. So I'm talking to my buddy Mike or whatever, and he already knew who it was that was coming up, but he didn't tell me anything. So we were just there, chilling, having drinks or whatever, dude. And it was fucking sunny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This was when she was still hot. This was like before
Yeah.
fucking like the drugs and like all the shit took over and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, they're like really good friends. Like she came in, she hugged her, and they're fucking talking and everything. And I'm just like, holy shit, dude, this is insane. And he goes, yeah, it's wild, right? So apparently, like they've been good friends for a long time, and like she would come visit them and like spend the night at their house and everything.
Oh, probably swing a little bit, maybe.
Maybe, but
All
yeah,
this.
like he and I were talking, and he's like, man, he's like, it's kind of weird, like meeting her and like being friends with her. He's like, because like she kind of got me out of like teenagehood into like manhood. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's
Damn. So like, is your buddy and his girlfriend still together?
yeah, they're married now. Yeah,
Oh, they're married. Okay, so
yeah.
and does she still talk to Sonny like now that like she's in jail? She's
I
been going through all this shit.
I, I don't know because I haven't spoken to Mike in. I think the last time I spoke to him was probably the second year I was in North Carolina, and
Mm,
that was when me and the wife, like we had the wife and I got married in 2015. Um, so I think it was probably like 2016, 2017 where I spoke to him. Um,
okay.
it's just one of those things where we just haven't spoke to each other for a while. But with him, it's one of those things where I could not talk to him for years, and then the next time I talk to him, like we just pick up like right where we left
Yeah.
off. But yeah, like I was just telling him, like we got married and like all this other stuff, but I haven't heard from him or I haven't spoken to him in a while because I got rid of Facebook and all that other shit. You know what I mean? So like a lot of people don't have any way of contacting me
Yeah.
outside of text message. He does have my number, so he could always fucker. He could text me, but it's fine.
Yeah. No, shit happens, man. Life happens.
But I do see his wife posted on Twitter, and like I know she has a lot of engagement with like Matt Cardona and the oh damn the guys in AEW that I can't remember Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. I always see her like going back and forth in them with like conversations and stuff.
Really? So are they like how'd she get into the like was she a former wrestler?
She was a photographer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she was a photographer, and that's how she met people. She moved down to Florida and she met Mike, and what was crazy was in high school I wrestled, and I was like, man, I want to be a professional wrestler, blah 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 blah. So now Mike was he was like this chubby cuck. That's like the best way to describe him, man. He was just
Okay.
like super dweeby, just like this husky kid.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you remember this, but like like at least when I was in high school, they had these sneakers that had like these built-in wheels on them.
Yeah, we
So they're
yeah. Yeah.
wheelies or
Wheelies?
some shit,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So like he had those, man, and he would like be sitting there talking to us. He's like, "All right, I gotta go," and he'd like pop the fucking wheel out of his shoe and be like, "Yeah, yep." And yeah, he was just it was awful, man. But like, I mean, he got picked on a lot. I felt bad for him. But I didn't talk to him for a couple years after like graduating and stuff. And the next time I saw him, man, he was like yoked. And I was just
Oh
like,
yeah.
yo, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm in wrestling school. Like I'm training to be a pro wrestler.
Oh
I'm like,
shit.
dude, get the fuck out of here. So we started talking, man, and I found out, his girlfriend at the time, she was big in wrestling and she got him into it. So he's training, he's working a lot of shows. So in Florida, in Tampa, there was this one organization. It was called Full Impact Pro Wrestling. And if you go online, you could find there's like so many videos, dude. And it's like when CM Punk first started out, Brian Danielson first starting out,
Mm-hmm.
MVP, but
Oh
MVP
yeah.
wasn't MVP. He was like it was like Antonio something.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys that you see now, he knew back when they first started breaking, like they started cutting their teeth. So this was like around circa 2002, 2003, 2004, like
Uh huh.
around there. So yeah, a lot of good stuff, man. So there was one video that he did, and it was CM Punk versus Homicide,
Mm.
and they're fighting in a strip club, like CM Punk versus Homicide in a strip club. It's the craziest thing, and the background music to it, it's a CNC Music Factory. Everybody dance now, and yeah, it's the most insane shit, man. So if anybody's listening, man, if you check it out, like I think if you could type in, hang on, let me just see if I can pull this up real quick.
All right. Take us out on a high note there, old school. CM Punk versus Homicide. April 23rd, 2005.
Okay, so if you type in CM Punk Homicide Strip Club,
Okay. Yep.
are you on YouTube?
Yep. Punk.
So that first video, it says CM Punk versus Homicide in a strip club, FIP Fallout Night 2, 11/13/2004. My buddy Mike recorded that.
The short. It's a short. It looks like Wrestles Homicide in a strip club. Here, let me share my.
I don't think they got the full video on there,
That's it right there.
but there's a part where like one of the girls is like dancing, and like CM Punk walks up to her and he's like, "You're a whore." And, yeah, dude, it was that shit was funny,
God.
man. Oh yeah, there's a video for it right there. Yeah. So if you scroll down a little bit further, it says CM Punk calls stripper a whore. Oh man, dude,
Um.
that's awesome.
Oh, here. Oh, this is.
Yep.
I think this is still the short. Maybe I don't know. I don't think you get the audio through this. But
Can you
yeah.
hear it on your end though?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, the women are still on stage. And shit. I think looks like they're laughing. There he goes. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't condone calling women whores. Like this isn't
Yeah.
this isn't what that's about. But back in the early 2000s, man, it was a different time.
That's crazy. And CM Punk with like long blonde hair like that, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
that's nuts. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
There's sometimes I miss living in Tampa because I lived there for so long, and it's like so much like went down and goes down in Tampa, and I got tired of the scene after a while, man. I was like, I gotta time to get up on out of here.
That's
I met
crazy.
I met the wife down there. We tried to buy a house, and it was just like we couldn't afford real estate in Tampa.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, man. Well, let's dip up out of Florida, and we ended up in NC.
Hell yeah. Yeah. That's crazy to say there's always stuff going down in Tampa because I lived on the other side of the state near Melbourne, just south of Cocoa Beach. And there was like nothing that would ever go down over there. That sucked.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I've got a gang of stories about celebrities and athletes and stuff, man. really good stuff and really bad stuff too. Maybe I'll get into the good. Maybe I'll get into the good stuff with the viewers at some point.
Hell yeah! You make a like a video. What's it called? Like just a recurring video that comes up every like once a month or once a week of just you just telling some crazy story from your days in Tampa or something.
Yeah. So there was before we go, there was one time. So I used to work as a runner at a law firm in
Mhm.
downtown Tampa, and I had to make a run to this one building, and I wasn't really paying attention, and I went up the escalator to go to the elevator. So I pop in the elevator, and this fucking giant guy walks in, and I look at him, and it's fucking Batista,
Oh
and like,
man!
and I looked at him, I'm like, whoa, what are you doing here? And he goes, I'm depositing a check because there was a Merrill Lynch. So you go to Merrill Lynch to deposit them big ass paychecks.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, oh man, and I was like, can I get a picture with you? And he was like, sure. So it's just us two in the elevator. So he's like, do you want to do a selfie? And I was like, I'll just take a picture of you. So he fucking like he was just standing there, and I had an old Razor phone at the time, and I took a picture of him, and
Oh,
like he just had this look on his face, like what the fuck, and I was just like, so he got out on his floor, and I went up to like whatever the next floor was, it was like 35 or whatever, dropped off the package, and I came back down, and on the way down, he fucking gets back in the elevator, it's him again, and I'm just like, oh man, he probably thinks I'm such a fucking clown.
yeah.
Like, who the fuck is this kid?
He's gonna
Um,
go beat off to my picture later.
yeah. So like I was just like, well, cool, man. Like it was great meeting you. He's like, yeah, appreciate the support or whatever. So I walk outside and there's stairs that lead up to the building that you take down to go to like the sidewalk or whatever. And he was illegally parked in front of the building. So picture like any kind of like downtown or like city center where it's like one way streets and like parallel parking, all that kind of stuff. So he was illegally parked, but he had this badass car, man. It was like I think it was like a Bentley or something, man. It was just something really, really nice. Um, and I stepped onto the street and I went to take a picture of the car, but I didn't want to like stand there and like literally take a picture of the car, so I tried to do it inconspicuous.
Yeah.
So I pulled the phone up to my ear and I turned around to kind of see where I was at. And where I was standing on the street, there was like a sewer opening. So like those like long, like narrow sewer openings
Yeah.
in that bitch, and I busted my ass, dude. And he saw me. He straight up saw me fall, and I was just like, oh, god damn it, man.
He's like, I can't believe I let that guy take a picture of me.
Yeah. And so funny thing is, years later, I was really big into MMA and jiu-jitsu in Tampa, and he was training MMA and jiu-jitsu, and he trained at the Gracie School. So the gym that I used to train at, it's now known as American Top Team Tampa,
Uh-huh.
but at the time it was World Class Martial Arts. And my coach at the time, he was just fantastic, man. Everybody went to him for like striking and just like his knowledge because he was so good. And Batista wanted to go there. He wanted to do some cross training. And I remember we fucking showed up, dude, to go train. And there he fucking was, man. Big
After
Batista
you
there
saw
in
him
his
in the
gi.
elevator that day?
And this was years later. This
Oh,
was
okay.
years later.
So he didn't
So
remember you.
nah. And I didn't even get a chance to talk to him, man. Like it was just like one of those things where he wanted to work with like one specific person.
Yeah.
So they did their thing in the corner, and like we just the pawns kind of just stayed to the other side of the room.
Oh yeah. He was paying good money for that one-on-one time.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, that's crazy. That's good stuff. Now I wish I would have went and hung out in Tampa more. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. It was a fun time, man. As a young man, it was everything that I could have hoped it could have been.
Uh-huh.
So I had, my 20s. I had a lot of fun, man.
Uh-huh.
A lot of fun.
That's dope, dude. But all right. That's our time, old school. Appreciate everybody listening, liking, commenting, subscribing down below. I got more Pokemon videos coming on the way. So, if you like that kind of stuff, subscribe. Uh, Like I said in the beginning, Fall Damage Central every Friday, 6 a.m. It's on Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course here on YouTube. Go like us, rate us, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Appreciate everybody, and we'll see you guys next week. See ya.
Peace.